good therapy should make you need your therapist less. So I say this to clients fairly often. My job is not to make you dependent on me. People ask me how my sessions go, and I'm often very honest about how many months they can expect to see me, which I actually know because when I first started, I was working in Germany as a coach, and I would do 6 months with people. Sometimes they wanted to commit only to 3 months at first, which meant 6 sessions. And I could know that by the time they hit the 3rd month, the 6 sessions, they should know whether they're going in a direction that they want to keep going in. And by the time we hit 6 months, they'd be seeing a big change, like a lot of change. And some of them sometimes wanted to see me for like maintenance. Some of them needed to kind of have a month or two of 2 times a month also. Actually, I kind of preferred the whole coaching model because it gives this sort of container, but I have to be very careful as a licensed therapist not to confuse the two, because therapy has its own set of ethics, which I'm not going to get into right now, but we're not supposed to sell like packages or like, mostly it's not about, it's like you can't, a client can't owe a therapist, or the other way around. A therapist can't owe the client money, aka like you can't pre-buy sessions or something like that. But my point here is that my job is not to make you dependent on me. I want to teach you true empowerment, to know enough about yourself, your nervous system, your relationships, and your patterns that over time you need me less, which is why I use RIFRA a lot, so that it's almost like you're getting a mini lesson on what someone told me the other day was like RIFRA is like a condensed integrated psychoanalysis. Like you're learning how to do psychoanalysis on yourself. Now, that might sound like a terrible business model. I actually think it's an ethical one. Trauma often develops in relationships where there was an enormous imbalance of power. Someone else determined what was acceptable. Someone else's mood determined whether you were safe. Someone else's approval determined whether you belonged. And when that happens repeatedly, it can profoundly shape our relationship with authority. And we might become incredibly compliant or deeply suspicious. So we might hand our authority over to therapists, doctors, teachers, partners, or anyone who seems to know better. Or we may become so fiercely self-reliant that receiving help feels dangerous. So I'm not interested in becoming another authority you have to organize yourself around. I want therapy to help you build a stronger relationship with your own authority. Sometimes people work with me intensely for a period and then leave. Sometimes they come back years later when something difficult happens. That doesn't feel like failure to me. That feels like the work worked. So what would change if you thought of healing not as becoming better at following someone else's map, but becoming more able to trust your own? And that's also really important to me, having lived all of this and gone to therapists where they literally imposed their ideas onto me and their, just their views and their biases on me, what they wanted from me, rather than help me find what my truth was and what I really wanted for myself. And I've had to confront that. And so sometimes I have to remind myself in the session, someone will ask me, what do you think? What do you think I should do? Or what do you think about this relationship or this guy? And it's like I have to really focus on, like, I'm here to reflect what I hear you saying, that sometimes you can't help, but you don't hear yourself as well as I'm hearing you. So I want to hear what shifts when you think, and I'm also trying something new of recording from a cafe, which is insane.